Hello everyone, it's been almost a little over a year since my last update on the Reef. I'm still in it, just been very busy remodeling and obviously working on this and busy at work. But my last real update on this was when I was going through another ick outbreak, and unfortunately I did lose a lot of the fish. There still are some of the original survivors, the firefish there, the McCullster's wrasse there, the Melanaris wrasse. Also that survived is the cardinal. He likes to hide underneath that overflow there, if you can kind of see him. And the 6-line wrasse, which is hard to find in here. He constantly, I think he just went under there, but constantly moves around in and out of the rocks there. But all the other fish are all new. I got all new tangs. This time I went a little different route. I went with the sailfin tang, very beautiful. And all these tangs were really small. I mean, they were probably a little larger than a 50-cent piece, believe it or not. I was really concerned about their size, but they're growing up. And I went with the purple tang, and I really like that guy there. And then that lieutenant tang. Right now he's the boss. Like I said though, he was maybe a little bigger than definitely bigger than a 50-cent piece. Not much bigger, but he was dinky too. But he's really filling out color-wise. Then some other new fish I went with. I went with some more dwarf angels. This time I have 3. Went with another flame angel, African flameback, which he's the boss right now between the dwarf angels, and Potter's angel. And like I said, pretty much they all get along fairly well. There was a little picking here and there, but I put the African flameback and the flame angel in together. Then I put the Potter's angel in probably about 3.5 to 4 months afterward, and there was some major aggression between the Potter's angel and the African flameback, probably for the first week. When I say major aggression, the African flameback just constantly kept him pinned in that corner over there. But now, for the most part, they get along quite well. A little picking here and there, but not much. Then also, I did quarantine all these fish, but I never did really clear all the fish out of here to run at fish list for 3 months. I could never catch the firefish or the McCullster's wrasse in my fish traps. They just would not go for it. I even tried not feeding them for 2 to 3 weeks, and they just wouldn't go for it. Oh, there's the 6-line wrasse. Well, he just started right back down there again. Then I also have a spotted mandarin, and he's usually out. He's very active. I've had him probably 6 months now. I'm not sure where he's at. He's definitely healthy. He actually, in quarantine, he was actually eating frozen brine shrimp and small pellets. But now in here, though, it seems like he's constantly hunting for the copepods because there was a lot in here. There's still some in here. I mean, I still see him when the lights are out, but I'm sure he has diminished the population quite a bit. And I also went with a yellow wrasse, which he just darted down there somewhere. And there he is. And I couldn't believe how small he was. If you're familiar with the small yellow goby, that's how he came in. And I actually thought it was a yellow goby. I thought they sent me the wrong fish. But he's definitely grown quite fast in here. And the wrasses all get along fine. Oh, there's the spotted mandarin back there. He just loves to pick at the glass constantly on the back where I keep the algae. I don't clean it because the tangs like to graze on it too. As far as the ick goes, though, I can't say there's still ick in here or there's not. To me, that's still a controversial subject. People say you always have ick in your tank. Well, where's the proof at? Show some samples under a microscope or something, proving that there's ick in here. And likewise, people who say their tanks are ick-free, well, where's the proof? Show me some samples under a microscope or something that shows, hey, there, can't find any ick in here. But anyway, so I can't say there is or isn't. I just know these guys. They were all quarantined for 3 months. The first batch of fish, and then I waited about 4 months before I put the second batch in, and they were quarantined too. Went through a mild dose of cupramine by Chem, and so far, I mean, they've been in here for some time, and they're all getting along quite well and doing and look very healthy. Now for the corals, I have lost a lot of my LPSs, especially the different colored ones. the peach, the orange, the blues, turquoise, and they were all wall hammer type LPS hammers or frog spawn. And I think I'm done with those. I just don't seem to have luck. The branching corals seem to do quite well. They're actually expanding to the point where some of the heads fall off, and I just kind of pop them in PVC down there. But anyway, they're doing good. And my SPSs, most of these are beginner SPSs, and I can't remember all the names, but that nice green one right there originally started out with just one branch as a frag, and you can see how much it's grown within about 7 months. Likewise with the purple one there. I actually accidentally fragged one of the tips right there, and I'm trying to grow the tip right there to the left of it, but starting to turn white at the base, so I'm not sure if it's going to make it or not. Then the button corals, the large button corals, are doing extremely well. There's a trumpet coral there, it's doing well. Then my other, there's a pearl bubble back there, doing really well. Then these button corals up here, the turquoise ones, are just constantly just growing, really nice looking. Oh, I almost forgot about the gobies. I have two orange spot gobies. They get along really well. Normally they're both together, perched on the corals. That's one of the problems I have with the corals up front here placed on the bottom. They get aggravated quite a bit because those guys like to perch on them, but I don't know what else to do. I try to move them, but they just end up perching on them anyway. The mushroom coral there is massive. I mean, it's probably about the size of a dinner plate. It's kind of hard to judge from here. I'd kind of like to get rid of it, but of course it's my wife's favorite, so I got to keep it in here for now. Then this orange leptis, I can't remember that. I remember I got that frag. It was about the size of a quarter, and it's almost taken over that entire rock that it's on. That rock's probably about 4 inches by 3 inches. Then I almost forgot my tomato clown there. I originally did have 2 of these tomato clowns. The other one just, for some reason, didn't make it. It just constantly got picked on by, actually by the red wrasse over here, and the Carlsker's wrasse. I don't know why that wrasse picked on it, but he doesn't bother the other one, but maybe because the other one stood up for him, or that one there stood up for himself. As far as over here, you can obviously see the mushrooms, or orange mushrooms there. The darker ones and the lighter ones have really taken off quite well. I'm trying to keep an eye on them so they don't spread all over the place, but there's a couple patches in the back too, but they do look neat. And I do have one orange, well, it's supposed to be orange, but that hammer there, I had to move it over here because I had it originally up front here. But you can see they like to dig there, so they were really irritating it. I almost thought it was going to die, but I moved it there and it seems to be coming out of it. And my green button corals here are doing really well. I think, if I remember correctly, I started off with 3 heads, and there's probably a good 30 heads in there now. It's definitely looks nice and continuously grows. Then the Duncan corals, as you can see, they're doing really well. Got some there, and there's a smaller patch there, and actually one down there. Some of these I got as freebies, and they came in duplicates, but that's okay. Then I even actually have another start right there of Duncan corals. I like them. They look neat. So then bird's nest seems to do well in here. I have a pink bird's nest there, and the one in front of it is a blue voodoo, but it's not doing a whole lot. That I can't recall what the one in front of the blue voodoo is doing. I pretty much think it's dead. Then there's another like frog spawn there, and that one's doing well. Then over here I have a few Blue Ridge frags. That one there's the smallest, and the one to the right of it used to be that size, but you can see how much it's grown now, and it's doing well. And there's another button coral that's doing really well. Actually a purple one too there. Then the coral in the back there was, can't remember what the SPS, I think it was one of the blue tricolors. It's actually green, but it's doing well. Then I actually have a green Montipora back there. It's starting to cap off there. Then this green's bird's nest is doing really well, and it was probably, when I first got that, just one of the branches was the frag, and now it's really taken off. And oh yeah, down here is a plate coral, and I'm not even sure where that came from. It actually grew out of this patch right here, and you can see another one starting to grow. That's I just saw something small there, and I thought it was a zoanthid at first, but it started getting larger and larger, just like that one there. And eventually, this one here ended up, well, the size it is now. So once this one gets a little bigger, I'll probably move it lower. I just don't want to disturb it now, just to let it take off. And something's really cool, if you can see that blue sponge back there. That just excuse me, grew off one of the live rocks, and it's so large now it fell over. I'm just leaving it alone. I don't touch it. I think it's cool. It continues to grow, but it's so heavy it's kind of just falling over. I lost both my sea fans. I'm not sure why. You can still see one of the remainings of one, and the other one back there, right where that sail fin tang is. A few other changes. I moved my Kessel light down to my refugium, and what I did is I bought one of the smaller Radion G4s just to try it out, because there is a lot of shadowing in here, and that seemed to help. But what I may do is reorientate my lights up here. Instead of running them lengthwise like that, turn them the other way. And I may have to get one more though to make the spread clear across, but that's something I'm just thinking about. I really wish I had a par meter, but they're expensive, so I'm not sure. I'd like to test the areas here just to see if I even need another one. Oh, there's the other orange spotted goby perched on the coral there, if you can see it right behind that hammer. Then the other change I made on here, I finally got myself a protein skimmer. That's one of the Octi 110s, I believe, but you can see it's doing its job there. And I think I change this about every 2 weeks. I can let it go. But you can see the refugium, especially with that Kessel slide on there now, the lettuce algae is just massive in there. And then also the some type of cactus looking algae is growing down there, kind of cool. But I have to clean this out about once a month. And you'll notice my file fish is down there. And the reason why he's down there is, like I said, I kept losing my wall hammers, and I thought maybe he was the culprit and killing them, but never really seen him in action. You know, no different than what the tangs do. You know, they pick around it when food falls on it, stuff like that. The tangs do the same thing. So I'll probably put him back in, especially he does do a good job keeping the aptasia under control. And he's probably been down here now about 2 months. And but I still lost wall hammer even since I've had him down here. And I think that's the last of my wall hammer. I don't think I have any more. All these others are branching. But you can see some of the aptasia starting to come back, and he was doing an excellent job keeping it under control. That's really all the changes I've have on this now. Quite a bit though from the last year. Just want to thank you for watching another video.